a positive thing. You've talked about their innocence, their values, their being close to nature.
I think we are committing cultural ethnocide in this country. The name of development. It's not only destruction of the culture, it's a destruction of life itself. I am a man in search of man. I was never in search of God, because I am doing His work. So I don't bother about His making His search. For example, construction of big dams. People call us environmentalists, environmental communists, fundamentalists. These are symbols of destruction. Because not only they destroy the tribals, indigenous tribals' right to property, they pose a great danger to life itself. In fact, I intend to file a suit in this public interest litigation suit. That is endangering my right to life itself. Whose development? I believe development means liberation. Instead of liberating the people in this country, we have created a craze for expectation. We have not fulfilled those expectations, so the unrest. Development must liberate a man. He must find out what is good for him, what is bad for him. Gandhian concept of this thing. We are confusing the whole thing because of we have become a slave to this media. Our eyes and our ears are hypothetical with this medium, with television. If this being a century of sharing, we never inspire motivated common man to undertake an uncommon determination to change his destiny. Common man with uncommon determination can change his destiny. I am convinced. I have seen it, Bamragar, I have seen here, I have seen certain Gandhian projects who are attempting to change this picture in this country. When people are talking about one-star revolution, we are talking about energy consuming agriculture. Because of the overproductive technology, you see, performance of leisure and performance of work. Gandhiji believed in performance of work, not performance of labor. And overproductive technology makes a man a slave. Demands are created, and the man, like a crippled child or a helpless being, becomes a slave of those hands. That can be changed. So the balanced use of power, energy, coal, fossilized fuel, everything can be shared. We are not sharing our comforts with the tribals or with the downtrodden, with those who are backward.
Where does the impetus to change? There is such a broad-based dissatisfaction amongst large sections of the community. Where does this impetus of change, for change, come from? You know, for decades it hasn't really substantially emerged, other than from the pockets and people like you, but it hasn't been broad-based. Where does this hope, where does this future lie?
Future lie, the leadership must believe in the people.
But if it doesn't, as you
because they
suggested,
themselves are not inspired or motivated. Gandhiji, with that pinch of salt at Dandi.
But do we wait for another Gandhi?
I don't say. Gandhi's technique can be more relevant in this world than he was. Gandhi has become more relevant in this world today than he was during our times. We should not wait. So we go to the people. Gandhi's strength was people. We never took people in confidence. We have once in 5 years, we have an eye on their voters' bank. Now some people believe that ballot can be snatched and bullet can work. Others believe that this progress going to the 21st century will help the country. They're not going to help the country. this being a century of sharing, we must share each other's joys and sorrows. We are not, we are sharing the joys, sharing the pleasures, sharing the development, but ignoring those who are suffering from it. We need not wait for Gandhi. No nation. Every national problem has a national solution. Full effort is full victory. My complaint is that we have not undertaken full effort to galvanize the whole nation.
Baba, would it be fair to say that I think that instead of really sort of holding the leadership or governments responsible, we as a community have failed to catalyze the change?
I entirely agree with you. No, when you talked about, do you wait for Gandhi, I talked about we don't wait for the leader. I entirely agree with you. For me, for men like me, whenever he shows my way with his tiny little finger, I believe that he will clear my path with his mighty palm. That mighty palm is the palm of the people. That's what I believe.
Baba, you've said that you're a man in search of man, and frequently in your writings and speeches, you do refer to he or him. How is that he or him manifest for you? What does that mean to you?
He who helps me to listen to the promptings of my conscience. Otherwise, our conscience is suffocated. In this world where there is a great pollution of honesty itself, when the mass itself has become a man, it's very difficult to listen to those promptings of his conscience. One who that's what I pray, I say. You will be surprised, anonymous soldier's prayer which I say daily. I did not get anything which I asked for, but I got everything which I hoped for. And now at the age of 74, I say, I ask not to know, I ask not to see, I ask to be used in his work before I walk in the silent company of nature and God. That gives me mighty faith. The faith which the scientist has in his hypothesis. It's not a blind faith.
Baba, have you ever been troubled by conscience?
Many times. How to stir that conscience is a constant endeavor in man. And mine is not a pursuit of wealth. Mine is a pursuit of happiness. And happiness, the world knows. Continuous creative activity is a happiness. And my work for nearly 5 decades in social field has helped me to utter one axiomatic truth. Love alone can resurrect any man in agony. And like Krishna ji, I say, intense passion for love is compassion. Man must have conviction. He must have compassion. He must have vision. He must have passion to get out there. If these 4 things are there, then you don't bother whether you succeed or you fail. You are condemned to succeed.
Why do you say condemned to succeed? In a sort of traditional jargon, we would see that as a contradiction.
Because in the end, man realizes his achievements, his success is an empty boast. So I said, one is condemned to succeed.
What then is the motive for him to succeed?
Fulfillment. Fulfillment through leprosy work. Fulfillment in life. Look here, in this world it's very easy to die for your country. But it's extremely difficult to live for your country. I am trying to motivate the students and the youths and my patients how to live for your country. It's very extremely easy to die for your principle. Mazhab khatre mein. Religion is in danger. And then you see the crusades and the tragedy which takes. But it's very extremely difficult to live according to those principles. In such country, then spurious spiritualism is generated. Really, religion ought to teach us righteousness. Religion has taught us RITs, religious rights, and we quarrel and fight over them.
Do you believe in karma? Because it may be a very sort of convenient, maybe almost sort of Western-inspired, glib explanation of our predicament, sort of a justification for our passivity, of our not responding to suffering in the manner that you have responded. Do you believe in this?
I believe that his work is his worship. Such a simple thing. Then, when I read Bible, in one of my poems I said, I cannot carry the mighty load of his cross, but can I not attempt to walk in the shadow of that cross and become his contemporary? About Gandhi also, same thing. On his left side to his rib was attached a badge of suffering, which is always attached to our also ribs. But on this side, there was another badge which I saw. That badge was badge of staunch confidence. Vedana और विश्वास. वेदना होती है आदमी में, विश्वास नहीं होता.
तो ये कहाँ से आएगी?
ये आता है जब दुख की पहचान नजदीक से करते हैं. When you live with the people who are loneless and the lost and the last, you get that staunch confidence also. Confidence that is more contagious than leprosy. Had I only preached leprosy like any other disease without staying here or writing articles or workshop, I would not have changed the profile of this project. I moved in the country and found out that this is a very easy task. The enemy is visible. Leprosy, tiny little lepra bacillus, acid-fast bacillus. It was very easy for Gandhiji to fight Quit India battle because the enemy was visible. Britishers were there. That's why for so many years we were splitting India. Knitting India is very difficult because the enemy is invisible. It is within me and it is within you. To fight that invisible enemy is a very difficult task. And that requires immense patience, solid determination, dedication, devotion, sacrifice, whatever you call. But at most, your spontaneous urge from within not to tolerate these things. I moved in this country. I found out that people also agree with me. Youths also feel that they are helpless. They don't want to be silent spectators of this whole episode. But they lack cooperation. They lack confidence. So when I told them, you have seen these masses staying in the slums. You have seen obscene poverty. You have seen big temples and churches and Suvarna Mandirs. God is not concerned only with the soul of man. God was concerned only with the hunger of man too, with his total ignorance too. And then I said to them, if people remain silent for a pretty long time, those people become the silenced majority. In this country, if people remain silent and nobody goes to them, nobody stirs their conscience, nobody motivates them, then it will be a silenced majority at work in this country, which is most dangerous.
Baba, you have so often in your life transcended the body, and we started out talking about that, and even as we talk, you're in considerable pain and painkillers, and yet you're sort of forging ahead continually, perpetually. It's as if you were driven. Do you fear death?
I know life and death are twin brothers. I love both. I was declared dead in national papers on so many occasions. Listen to my prayer. Please God, make my body my friend. This body has become most disobedient to my will, and then I move. Life and death being twin brothers, I love it immensely.
Do you believe in life after death?
I believe in leading series of life in this life itself.